This is take two of a live stream that I was doing before. Dog started barking and I had to stop that. Uh, anyway, so the purpose of this live stream is to examine the language difference between, well, language difference and similarities between Britain and the United States of America. The reason why is because there's a huge cultural difference, and I'm not an expert in the cultural differences between America and Britain, or the UK, however you want to pronounce it, and never been out of my country before, and never been to Britain before, nor am I a dual citizenship. So if you want to know the cultural differences between Britain and America and how different the cultures are, ask someone who is a dual citizen, who might be born in America but has a both United States citizenship and a Britain citizenship, or was born in Britain and lives in America and has dual citizenship. You get the point. They would know the cultural difference. Or ask an immigrant who moved from Britain to America. They would know the cultural difference. But I'm specifically talking about the language. Now, the language, on the other hand, is not so different and completely different at the same time. There's a complete difference in slang and terminology. There are things that are said in British language, British English, I should say, and their own version of English, that confuses a lot of Americans. Now, I'm not a stranger to British slang, old or new, because I do watch Keeping Up Appearances. I do watch those BBC shows. So I know what the new slang terms are for the older versions of these words. So I do know the meaning behind them. But there are a lot of Americans that don't know these terms at all. But let's talk about accents. If you live in the South, you're more likely going to sound like someone who's speaking a posh accent than those who are speaking, let's just say, similar to a Cockney accent, which is probably people from New York and New Jersey. I'll give you an example. I say water, dog, bread, cake. I use a lot of laziness in my vocabulary because that's a lot of the Brooklyn vocabulary in me. Water. There's no difference between Cockney and Brooklyn. There's no difference. But there is a difference in the TH sound. When we say brother, they say brother. It emphasizes the TH by the V sound being in place. Why do I bring this up? Because I find it fascinating that when you learn about the similarities and the differences, the languages between America and Britain, it's the same language, but different versions of it. One's lazy, American, and one's the proper version, British, but English. So, continuing on, let's examine the similarities in the words. Apple, 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 apple. Apple is how they say it over in the UK. And we say apple here. Apple, 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 apple. Why do we say it similar but completely different? The same apple. we're pronouncing it with the two P's as one P, apple. But in Britain, they say appel because A-P-P-L-E, app, as in app, L. You're pronouncing all the syllables in the fruit's name compared to America. Apple, appel. Orange, orange. Orange, orange. Orange, orange. Hear the similarities, right? It sounds similar, but said different. Orange, orange, orange. We don't pronounce the A, the A silent, how we say it in America. So it's almost sounds like we're saying it O-R-I-N-G-E. Orange, on the other hand, A-R-A-N-G-E. Orange, 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 orange. That's just two examples of, basic fruits that both people in Britain and America eat on a daily basis or maybe every now and then, but you get the point. There's a similarity, but yet there's a huge difference in how it's sounded out than heard. Now, here's another great example of a similarity, but yet a difference in British English and American English. Like I said, if you live in the South, you probably have a similar accent to people who speak posh English. But if you are from Brooklyn, or your family's from Brooklyn, or if you were born there, raised there, whatever, and you speak with a Brooklyn accent, such like myself, you're gonna sound more like someone who's from London, as they call them, someone who speaks Cockney British English. So here's a great example: Brooklyn, 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 Brooklyn. There's a similarity there. Brooklyn, 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 Brooklyn. If you hear Michael Caine say Brooklyn, he almost does it like a crescendo. He does it like a crescendo. Brooklyn, 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 Brooklyn. There's a similarity. Now, that's a similar word that both Cogneys and people from New York say very similarly. There's no difference in how it's pronounced or heard. But here is the difference. If you're dying of thirst and it's super goddamn hot out, and you're, let's just say, roaming around Times Square, and there's a person with a water bottle stand, you say, "Can I have a bottle of water? Bottle of water. Bottle of water." That's how someone from New York, or someone with a Brooklyn accent or a New York accent, says it, like, bottle of water. Bottle of water. Bottle of water. The T's are in the throat. So you have extreme gluttonate T's in Cockney of saying bottle of water. Bottle of water. Bottle of water. There's a difference. Same request, but said completely differently. Here's another difference, and then a similarity. Hot dog, hot dog, hot dog, hot dog, hot dog. They don't pronounce the H. So if there's there's an H. The H is gone. Hot dog. They're still saying hot dog, but they're not pronouncing the H. The H is silent. The H is non-existent. The H is a phantom H. Hot dog. Difference. Now, here's the difference between and Brooklynisms. Like I said, people from New York or New Jersey or people who were raised in that type of setting have a Brooklyn or New York accent or a New Jersey accent, and they're going to sound more like people from than someone from upper United Kingdom. Now, water. That's how I say it. Water. I always said water. I can never say water. That's how, if I would say a true American, water, I would sound stupid as all hell. Water. It's an attack. Water. That's how Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson say it. They're from upper United Kingdom. You could tell by their voice. The guy who played Ron Weasley, on the other hand, he's from London. You could tell. You could tell just the way he speaks. Emma Watson and Daniel Radcliffe, on the other hand, they're from upper United Kingdom. So instead of saying water, like Cockneys and people from New Jersey and New York do, or raised in that area, or raised in that type of setting, they say water. It's an attack. Water. Bottle of water. It's an attack. Now, here's another difference between posh English and American English. In America, regardless of where you're from, we say bathroom or restroom or ladies' room or men's room, however you want to say it. If you need to take a piss or a shit, you say bathroom, right? Well, collectively in England, they say the loo. If you say, where's the bathroom, you'll actually be led to a room with a bath in it. Over there, you have to say, can I use your loo? I know what you're thinking. It sounds completely goddamn weird. Hey, Lou, can I use you? That's what it sounds like. To most Americans, that's what it sounds like. We all know one guy or one person named Lou asking if we could use him as a toilet. That's exactly what it sounds like to us when we hear the term for bathroom over in Britain. But in America, there are people that use the term loo instead of bathroom, and those are people in the South. People in the South, like I said, have more similarities to posh English than people from New York or New Jersey do. And so if you hear the term, can I use the loo in the South, it's not uncommon. You're going to hear it. So yeah, but for the most part, even people in the South, they just use the term restroom because it makes more sense. Okay, now let's talk about how we verbally speak our language. Compared to, we sound like robots. We do. How much wood can a woodchuck chuck and a woodchuck could chuck wood, right? That's very robotic. How much wood can a woodchuck chuck and a woodchuck could chuck wood? Now, last night I learned a thing in English language which I had no idea even existed. It's called R-linking. R-linking is basically taking, a series of R's within a sentence. The example I seen last time was a better actor is Ben Affleck. That's a shorter term. A better actor is Ben Affleck. That's how an American says it. But a better actor is Ben Affleck. Hear the difference? A better actor is Ben Affleck. A better actor is Ben Affleck. A better actor is Ben Affleck. So regardless of where someone is in the UK, they actually have a better understanding of words to make it sound one whole complete sentence instead of breaking the sentence up word by word. Oh, that's the other thing. We pronounce the R in words. Bird, steered, beard. We pronounce the R. We make the R stand out like a sore thumb. Bird, steer, beard. It's a U. It's almost a U sound. Beard, steer, bird. Do you know how proper that is compared to how we say in America? Here's the bird, steer, beard, beard. It's almost poetic how people in Britain say compared to we in America. Now, finally, because I think this is interesting. Terminology, slang, however you want to say it. In America, if we find, let's say, a man or woman that we're attracted to, that walks into a bar, or you name it, right? We say, hey, look at that hot piece of ass. Or we say, something like, hey, look at that doll. Something like that, But in Britain, they say fit, or he's fit, or she's fit. Wait. You're probably thinking, as in physically strong. No, it's actually a British version of saying, hey, look at that hot piece of meat. It's their version of our term of saying someone's attractive. Now, another slang word, which is completely different than America, is okay. This is true, by the way. I'm not sure if it's used anymore, but it is true. In America, the term bunghole means nutsack, right? I'm not sure if they still use the same term in England, but it means asshole in Britain. Yes. Johnson's favorite word to mean the other part of the human body, the exit zone, pretty much. In Britain, yes, I'm not sure if the term is used anymore, but I do remember years ago learning that we share the same term, but it has a different meaning. Here's one. Jackal, mate. Yes, jackal is a insult apparently in Britain. Don't ask me why, because a jackal is a rabbit. But jackal is basically telling someone they're being a jackass in Britain. Stop being a jackass. We get right to the point. We don't sugarcoat it. Stop being a jackal. It's polite. It's insulting, but it's a polite way of insulting someone. Yeah, the slang terms in Britain are completely different in America. I've seen enough to know the difference between the slang in America and the slang in Britain, but I did learn earlier today that the slang terms do change, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Or, as they say it in Britain, that's the way it crumbles. Yes, I'm not kidding you. What we call cookies in America, they call Triscuits. Yes, a chocolate chip Triscuit. Not chocolate chip cookie, but a chocolate chip Triscuit. Triscuit. Triscuit or Triscuit. It works considering which part of England it's set at, but cookie is an American term. It's not British. Yes, there are words that are strictly American, strictly British, and cookie is strictly American. Oh. There is one similarity that American people do share, and that is drinking tea. But the only difference is we in America don't hold tea or coffee to a religious standard. In fact, we don't even make a big deal out of coffee and or tea in this country. But people in Britain, on the other hand, make a big event out of something that you in hot water. Yes. It's called high tea and afternoon tea. You know, when you hear the term afternoon tea in America, you think of golf. That's what the term means in America. It means, oh, we have a morning tea appointment. It's a golf term. It's not the same meaning in Britain. Yes. No more interruptions. He's downstairs. No more interruptions. Finally wrapping up this video. This is longer than it should be, but yeah. When you hear the term morning tea or tea time, It means golf, spelled T-E-E, because that's what you put a golf ball on. That, when you hear afternoon tea or morning tea or high tea, it means a golf appointment, a golf meeting with friends, business colleagues, whatever. But across the pond, afternoon tea, T-E-A, and it means something completely different. And if you're looking for a sandwich or something edible with a cup of tea, or as they call it, a cuppa, like I said, big cultural difference. They have, one of their big things is scones. Now, you're probably thinking, scones are stale. To Americans, yes, most scones taste stale. Scones do have a toughness to them. I know the struggle because I'm not a fan of them myself. But in Britain, they're a big thing. They're a huge thing. In fact, they're very popular in Britain. And traditionally, you're supposed to eat them with lard and jelly. And lard in Britain is called something else altogether, but essentially lard and jelly. Lard is 55% fat. So you're taking something that's pretty much stale, I agree, liquidy on it. Now, also, a huge cultural difference from what I've learned overnight is that, I'm sorry, but it's not bacon. Bacon, ham is from pork shoulder. How the meat is in the shoulder. Bacon, on the other hand, is pork belly. Oh, sorry, but Canada and Britain, you get bacon wrong. Bacon is pork belly, not pork shoulder. Pork shoulder is ham, not pork belly. Pork bacon is slices of pork belly. Pork belly has more fat than meat. So if you see bacon at a store in America, if you have a relative or a friend who lives in this country, you're more likely going to see pork belly than pork shoulder. And if you do see pork shoulder, it's probably in a can of Spam, tailored ham, or whatever. But across the pond, it's bacon. Huge cultural difference. That's why I didn't intend to do video differences between the United States and Britain, because completely different. It's a whole different over there. Or it's a completely different tetherball game over there. Yes. That I do know. Did know for a long time, actually. In America, we have baseball. In Britain, they have tetherball. Yeah. Tetherball. Boring game. Believe me. I've seen videos of people playing tetherball and I got bored. Baseball's more exciting, even though it can be boring too if it's a no-hitter. And at that point, I don't give a shit who wins, but I just care that the game's wrapped up. But my point is, there's a huge cultural difference. But the language, on the other hand, is not so much different. It can be in some ways, but really isn't. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you next time. Adios. Buonasera. Arrivederci. So on and so forth. See ya.